Hey guys, how are ya? I see two people in here. So, I've had a few people come out and respond to me about the bracelets that we sent out. And some people said that they have received them and they thanked me. Other people have told me that they received envelopes that had holes in them with no bracelets in them. So, the people that have not received, hey Charlene, the people that have received envelopes with holes in them that do not have any bracelets in them, I apologize. Reach out to me and I will send you a picture of the bracelets so you can file a claim with your post office. And hey everybody, they can use that picture to help them locate the bracelet. Hopefully that they're able to find it and give it to you. To everybody else that's received them, I'm happy that you like them. Once again, I apologize to those that ended up getting bracelets or envelopes that had no bracelets in them. Hey Danielle, hey Wanda, hey Nikki. I hope everyone's doing well today. So I've been reading up still on this case, trying to keep up with what's going on, and there has been a lot of different reports saying that they believe, hey Nikki, that Brian had most likely died within 2 days of the time that they found Gabby's body. Hey Steven, hey Cotton Candy. You'll yeah, we had to buy a lot of stamps and we had to buy, the envelopes and whatnot. So we definitely spent money on sending them out to the people that we had, ask us for them. But that's not a big deal. I'm not worried about the money. My concern is the fact that, there are some people that did not receive bracelets. They received an envelope with a hole in it. So that really upsets me because, that I had hoped that everybody that had asked for it would receive it. Thank you, Pink Fireball. Hey, Beverly. So back to what I was saying. They're assuming that Brian had been dead within 2 days of the time that they found Gabby's body, which, I mean, a lot of people may or may not believe that, but I have one question. We all saw this note that he may or may not have wrote. It was dated September 18th. And that doesn't make sense to me because if he died 2 days after Gabby was found, then how was that letter written and dated the 18th? Unless he pre-wrote it and he fabricated the date that he wrote it. I did, Jason, they took it down a couple nights ago. The memorial went missing, it didn't go missing. The city came in and collected all the items, and then Andra had contacted the police station and told them that she wanted to get it back because she wanted to give the items, at least some of the items, to Gabby's family. The police station did tell her that they would locate him and get back Andra. She was really upset. The police station did tell her that they would find out how she could retrieve the items, and as far as I know, she did pick them up, so Andra should have them in her possession at this time. It's kind of funny that they went out of town, the Laundries went out of town, and they come back, and then they contacted City Hall to come get them, and, the city came and picked everything up. They waited till the area cleared out so that everything could be removed without... That's horrible. It is horrible. Anyone else? I think that they just want everybody to forget about Gabby and focus on them and what they're going through at this moment. So, but I don't know. I have no idea what their reasons behind it was. All I know is that they waited for all of us to clear out to sit there and call and have it taken out of their property. So, I mean, I knew it was going to eventually happen. I just didn't think it was going to happen this soon. But, I mean, what can we do, right? That's not in our control. But as long as Andra has been able to retrieve the items, then that's a good thing. Some people have been asking about Moab. I did plan to try to go out there. I was talking to my husband about this a few days last week, and then the next day I spoke with Andra, and she told me that she's going out there with Olivia. They didn't have the tickets purchased yet, but they had a tentative date that they were going out. We were going to get together and meet her up there, but I just have too much going on here that I just can't. I have my kids, I have my own pets, and then I have my rescues that I'm responsible for taking care of and making sure that they're, you know, they're just fed and taken care of. So I'm just not able to really leave to go anywhere out of state at this time. Maybe once my rescues are, taken care of and adopted out somewhere, maybe during the summertime, I'd be able to go and, follow a case out of state, because at that time, my kids would be visiting parents or their dad. So my parents, they would be visiting my parents or their dad. So I'd have a couple days where I'd be like, I can go for a week or something. My husband suggested, why not go for 3 days? Hey, Harmony. But I don't really think 3 days is long enough for me to go out there and really get any actual answers and find out any kind of truth and do some real investigation. I feel like 3 days is just like a weekend getaway kind of thing, and it's just not enough time for me to really learn the area, find people I need to talk to, and get down to business. So I won't be going on the Moab trip as much as I want to. But, there are some people that are going out there, and I do hope that they are able to come up with some answers and help solve a couple of the mysteries going on out there. Marissa wants me to go. I know, Kevin. We've talked about it quite a few times. You will go there one day. I mean, by the time I have the chance to go, unfortunately, it's going to be too late. Yesterday, dog bunnies. Cheryl, yeah, I saw that, and it's funny because Dog actually said a lot of the things that I've been saying and thinking this entire time. And it's good to hear somebody else, especially a professional in that field, talk about the same things that I've been thinking, because it makes me feel like, not that my thoughts have been confirmed, but it makes me feel like there's other people out there other than just us that feel and think the same way. There have been more information. I wish more. Yeah, Kim, I agree with you. Yeah, the Northport Police Department definitely did botch the case. There's too many unanswered questions. There's too many mysteries. There's too many lives. It will be covered by Brian. So. Yeah, Miss Harmony, you're right. So they identified Brian by his dental records, but they have yet to run any DNA tests. They said that it would take about 2 to 3 weeks before they started doing that, which to me is, it's kind of a long time out. I don't understand why they would wait 2 to 3 weeks to actually sit there and answer, any more questions as far as DNA and whatnot. No, Kevin, I don't think we're ever going to know the truth at all. I honestly feel as though there's a lot that's being hidden, and maybe not intentionally, but there's a lot of things that have been held back that we don't understand why, and we're never going to know why. Are there any real answers as to why they're hiding things or messing things up? I don't know. Like, the fact that they said they knew Brian was home and they knew where he was and they'd been watching him, and then when he was reported missing, the cops had to backtrack and say, you know what, we thought we saw Brian coming home, we actually mistook him for his mother. That was a last effort mistake it was a really quick excuse to sit there and try and cover their butts, but at least use a mistake or an excuse that's it's something that we could actually sit there and say, you know what, that makes sense, we believe you. It's very hard to say you mistook him for his mother. They might resemble each other, they are mother and son, but body shape, height, different things like that, weight, it's just definitely very strange that they would expect us to believe that that is the truth. DNA is becoming more specific with advance. Well, one thing, Kelly, that Dog said is that people can run DNA on a T-Rex, something that's been dead a long, long time. Hey, Tim. So, if they can run DNA and testing on bones that are from extinct dinosaurs, then it shouldn't be so hard to run DNA tests on a jawbone. Female male structures, you're right, they're very different. They can grind down and get the marrow out of the bones, they can get the pulp out of the teeth. There's plenty of ways that they can use the DNA from this, whatever bones that they actually have in their possession, to actually sit there and say yes or no, it's him or not. People have said that the parents, Roberta and Chris, are refusing to give their DNA to run samples on for a match. I cannot confirm or deny that. I have no idea whether or not that's the truth. And if they were asked to provide their own DNA, I don't think that they have the choice to say no. I feel like that's a I have no choice, here you go, take what you need kind of situation. I don't think it's a no, you can't have my DNA, sorry, not gonna happen. Cops and FBI should just be like, you know what, you don't have a choice, give me your blood or whatever it is that I need and let's get this over with. So listen to Molly's husband's opinion, she molesting. All right, I'll go back and watch her thing. I have heard that they have found Brian or seen him all over the country, all over in different countries. Someone actually just told me that they believe he's in Texas, which I don't know one way or another. Another person told me that they think that, actually multiple people have mentioned they think that Gabby and Brian are both still alive. I do not believe that. My only question that I really am still debating on is Brian alive or is he dead? Until we get, confirmation of actual DNA, I guess there's no way to even really make that decision or come to any conclusions and decide, yeah, you're right, he is dead. And even at that point, I think there's so many lies and things that have been said and covered up that people aren't going to really believe the DNA results anyway. And that's, the government's fault. Looking back at this and seeing everything we've learned and experienced through just following Gabby and Brian's case, it makes me think, how many cases in the past have they messed up and covered up, and we sit here and we just believe them? Because all you can believe is what you're told, and you've always been told to trust the cops, trust the FBI, trust the media. You grew up believing that. You trust people, and the people that you're told to trust your whole life, you find out that they are not telling you the truth or being completely 100% honest about all things. And that makes me really sad, because I have no idea how much has been a lie in the past. It makes me question how much that I've learned in my life is actually true or false. It's just something that you really can't even answer at this point. So, we've been live before in history. You're right, Cheryl. Scott, I think that they are... Sorry, Miss Harmony, there is no Santa. Unfortunately, once you're old enough to believe that there's no Santa, you just start getting socks and pajamas for Christmas. And I think that's kind of, how you get the proof. I'm so sorry. Internet hugs. I'll dress up as Santa for you, Miss Harmony, if that makes you feel better. But I mean, yeah, that's it. Let the experts do their job. They are the ones that we have to believe, and what they say is what's supposed to be the truth. And as I said, looking back, I really have a hard time believing that everything I've been told in the past is the truth. And it's kind of mind-boggling, because how much of your life, not your life, but how much of the things that you've learned in your life has actually been a lie? How many things have the police and the FBI covered up or lied about? How much does the media lie about? I mean, just learning about the media with Gabby and Brian's case, I have seen them lie, twist, and turn things in a million different ways. And that is one thing that I say, on all of my videos that I do, my lives. I'm not here to raise hell. I'm not here to cause problems, raise ruckus. I am here to show you moment by moment what is going on. Hey, Debbie, I want you to see what's happening up front by me before you hear it from the media, because you're actually seeing what's going on, and you're hearing, interviews that have been conducted between my husband, myself, and other people. But then later on, you're going to go on and see it, and what you're told by the media is going to be different than what you saw on my live. And that was a huge part of why I felt like I needed to be there, because there was a lot of lying going on, and everybody needed to know the truth. And I had no idea, hey Kimmy, how many people were going to actually see my content. I was very blessed to be able to reach such a wide audience. I had no idea anyone was even going to know who the heck I was or find me. And yeah, I did have some help. Jay for Justice helped me. Molly helped me. There's other people that have helped along the way get my name out there for people to tune in and see what was going on. But I never expected that to happen. I figured if one person saw what was going on in my live videos, then at least I have one person that saw the truth. And if I could reach one person, that's going to help. One person might, they can show my video to somebody else. So I just figured that was a huge way for me to reach out and help the community, not only here, but all around the world. I have people in different countries, South Africa, Canada, Nova Scotia. I mean, places that I never thought would even watch or tune in to me, that they have people that are commenting to me. So people are able to follow, and they're learning things that they might not have learned before. Hey, Ray, Jay for Justice for me. Yeah, she actually messaged me the other night and told me that she received her bracelet, so I was happy to hear that. Another thing that irks me, and if you saw the thumbnail for this, is a water chart. And it was documented. I could actually go and give you, not right now because I'm using my phone, but I can actually put it in my, I can pin it as a comment, the website that you can actually follow the water levels on that area. Everyone wants to argue, and everyone knows best, and everyone knows what's going on. I live in that area, and I know that the water was waist deep. Or I know Florida. You know what? Florida has a lot of stinking rain. That is not a lie. It absolutely does. But you guys watched a lot of my videos and saw there was no waist deep water that Brian was found in, because you were in there with me the day before his body was found. So for that being said, I wasn't waist deep in water. My feet weren't even wet. There was zero water in that area. And it had been dry for a number of weeks. So Yeah, we do get a lot of rain, but 27 it was deep in the park. Not in the area his body was found, Pizza Girl. I do apologize that you feel, that way, and you're welcome to have your own opinion. I'm not going to argue with you. I was there. I'm not sure if you were, but I was actually there in person multiple times. So I do know for a fact that it wasn't flooded. I also do know for a fact it hadn't been flooded for a number of weeks. And I also do know for a fact that the area where Brian was found was not previously searched as well as the other areas were. But as I said, to each their own. Believe me, don't believe me. At this point, I don't care, because unless you can actually say you were out there and you can prove me wrong, it's your word against mine, and I have video content to prove that I'm right. Good. Had great direct answers to the question. Hi, Ray. Where was Gabby's van at? When they reported it, when the other YouTubers reported it on the side of the road, her van was over in Wyoming, I believe, and YouTubers found it parked and it had been abandoned, they said, for like a day or two. All I know is what I see through as, I mean, I'm showing you through my camera moment by moment. You're seeing exactly what I see at the time, and that's why it was important to me to record and document everything, because that's the only way anybody's going to know it's the truth. It wasn't waist deep. It was dry. It really was dry. And in fact, in the area that they found Brian in, you can see marks on one of my videos on the tree where the water level had actually been. And I would say it was like a foot, possibly 15 inches deep at one point, but it's such a flat area. It doesn't flood like that. It just doesn't. On either side of, you should send that film to. Yeah, I could do that, Miss Harmony. On the other side of Powerline Road, going back towards the entrance, when you park your car, if you go to the right, that area, yes, was flooded at one point. It holds a lot of water. There's a lot of deep, low spots, and that's where it was flooded. But on the area that we were at, where it was on the opposite side of Powerline Road, it wasn't. They have drainage ditches on the opposite sides, each sides of the road, and then when you take that trail all the way out there, it wasn't flooded. There was no proof of actual flooding, except for in certain lower areas where you can see that there were marks left on the trees. Okay, I'm done with that subject, because I'm just not going to argue with anybody. It's not worth my time. Unless you were there and can prove me different, prove me wrong, or you can give me a documented video where there's times and dates, then you might be able to sway my opinion. But like I said, I was out there more than once, and it wasn't flooded. They were saying that, that they found Brian's remains in water. Well, the day before they found his remains, I just so happened to be out there, and there was no flooding. There was no water. There was no way that it even would have been possible for them to find bones in a flooded area. Not that easily. So I'm gonna move on to the next thing. If you prove me wrong, that's all I can say. Prove me wrong. That's it. Are there protesters? I do believe, OTC, that the protesters had moved on. Most of the media is gone. I know Brian Henson's in Moab, and there's just there's not a whole lot going on in that area. I think the coverage is pretty much going to die out. That's why people are asking me to, don't let it die. Go out there, keep doing what you're doing. I'm not going to say for what, because that would be ignorant of me, but I really do not feel that there's going to be anything worthwhile for me to actually show you out there. Some people wanted me to go back out there to the Mayakahatchee and show video in there again. We said that we would if, you know, enough people wanted to, but I'm not sure if there's reason to do that unless people want to see around the exact area and, you know, search with me through my camera. But I have no idea what's left in that area, and I have no idea if there's anything left to be found. As far as going out in front of the laundry's house, I don't think that there's any real reason for me to be out there until there's more evidence leading to Brian's DNA or anything else regarding Gabby. I did see them towing Gabby's van. It was very sad. I do hope that the family gets her van back soon, and I do hope that they receive her belongings back. That's another thing that I do not know whether this is true or not, but I have had quite a few people suggest to me that that they had gotten rid of her stuff. Now, it has been proven. Media reported it. Chris Laundrie loading the back of his truck with big boxes and whatnot. And like I said, you can't believe everything the media says, but there was video showing him loading up the back of his truck with big boxes and some other totes and whatnot. And some people think that when they came back home, since they came home without those boxes, that was Gabby's belongings, and they believe that they discarded it. I do not know if that's true or not. I'm going to continue to follow and see if I can figure that out. I'm hoping that the FBI took it, because in the beginning, I'm not sure if any of you really watched this part, but in the beginning of the investigation, the FBI did take out a number of boxes from their garage. So I don't know if that was Gabby's stuff. They may have been using that for DNA purposes and whatnot themselves. I'm wondering if the first day. Kelly, I did not smell anything at all. I actually I didn't even see anything. I'm not sure in that last video I posted the title is like searching the area where Brian's remains were found. I think that's the title. It's something like that. If any of you had been watching that, at one point there was a crow in a tree over my head, and it was just calling at me. And I actually showed the crow in the video. And I looked around that area, but I really didn't spend too much time over there. Had I kept going that way, to the right through the trees in the clearing, on the opposite side is where they actually found Brian's remains and the water bottle and things like that. Yes, Nikki, everybody is saying it's a distraction from a lot of things. And that could be true, because I do think that it did work. I think that it did distract a lot of people from a lot of different things. Andrew, yeah, they said that it was a bad smell when they got over there and walked right on top of that area, but it was not a windy day. I may not have been close enough to actually see, you know, what was going on and smell it, but I do know that I was very close. I just needed to keep walking through that stinking, you know, wood line, and I seriously would have been there, and I would have been able to honestly tell you if there was a smell or not. But Andrew did say that it did smell like death in that area. So thank you, Cotton Candy. So I can't personally answer that question because I did not smell anything, but all I can go by is what Andra, Olivia, and Jonathan had said about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just assume that they smelled something. I heard that in another podcast. I'm sorry. Why? Is it true some protesters took some? I heard. I actually was told that somebody actually found like a bandana and some other things and kept it as souvenirs. I think that's sick. I do not know if that's true or not, but that's what I was told. If anything, that should have been turned over to the police. That definitely shouldn't have been kept as a souvenir. I mean, that's all evidence. So if it's true, I hope that person is found and they can sit there and retrieve those items from her. Joyce, that is one thing I have been asking and saying to everybody for days. Okay. Could it have been Brian's bones? Sure. Sure, it could have. It could have been anyone's bones. But what happened to clothing, shoes, things that just do not decompose? What happened to the items that just don't disappear? They found a book bag, a notebook. They found the water bottle, and Andrea and Olivia found the water bottle, and they found a number of other bones. But that's it. They didn't find anything else as far as clothing and stuff. So I don't know. Honestly, I can't answer that, but I'd like to know what the heck happened to his stuff. Also, somebody in here I just saw, they asked me about the rope. At one point, that rope was supposed to have been a like a rope swing off the tree, but the distance between the ground and the rope was like that much. So I honestly do not feel as though he used it to hang himself, because it would have been higher up in the ground. And from what I was told, it was not in a noose form. It was just like hanging down. Do you think they'll find more stuff like clothes? Kimberly, as of right now, I don't think they're searching for anything. People have commented, you guys need to get a life. What are you doing searching an area where someone was dead? Things like that. But there's so much that isn't found that there's no answers to. Like I said, the clothes and whatnot. Clothes could be underwater and rocks. You're right. If there was water, Susan, that's absolutely possible. It could have happened. But there was no water, and there was no proof of water or flooding in that area where his body was found. So I don't know where it was. Also, I'm not sure how many people close the case. I don't know how many of y'all actually researched this, but my husband and I did, and he actually mentioned it on one of his lives. If you look up the history of Myakkahatchee Environmental Creek Park, it used to be an Indian burial ground. So there's potential that you're going to find plenty of bones in that area from lots of areas, especially if you dig and whatnot. Thank you, Kimmy. So I don't know how many, but they might have found, say, 10 bones. I have no idea how many were his and how many were someone else's. I do know that when they started to renovate that area to make it, a park and, a trail that you can actually like go hiking through, I know that they came up with a lot of bones and a lot of different remainings from the past. And then they looked into it and they discovered that it used to be an Indian burial ground. And I can't pull it up, like I said, I'm on my phone, but there's a lot of things that goes into the history of that park. So I don't know. I can't really give you any definitive answers on that. Let's see. There were rain bursts, typical Florida. Didn't start around the 18th. Since September 18th, it's rained, I want to say 3 times, and not heavy. The gun the fisherman found, Patriot Mike, I don't I don't think that I can answer that honestly. I think that it's not linked to this case. I could be wrong. It's just my opinion, but I just don't think it's linked to the case. It was found in Fort DeSoto. The remains were found in Myakkahatchee. So somebody would have had to sit there and take the gun from that area and relocate it. That gun was there a long time. Yeah, I believe it was there for a long time. Also, someone else mentioned to me, I don't remember the name, that they said October 9th, Doug from Northport said that he had heard a gunshot. It's quite possible he did. I will never discredit him. I was not with him. I cannot sit there and say that he was making it up. I cannot sit there and say anything about that. I was not there. I have no proof. He's the only one, him and his wife are the only ones that physically witnessed it, and whoever was watching him at that time. But that does not, it doesn't make sense with the timeline. I do not believe that gunshot that he supposedly heard is linked to Brian at all, because that happened on October 9th, and there's no way that his body would have decomposed in such a manner. Did you say September 9th? For what? For when they heard the gunshot? That was October 9th. His body wouldn't have decomposed from then, that day, until now, the day that they found him. So I do not believe that had anything to do with Brian either. It's at the very end. Yeah, no, I believe that he heard something. But his date that he heard it, and the date that they found the body just can't. There's zero chance it's related. And for the simple fact is, it takes about a month before you start to physically decompose, and the decomposing process takes a lot longer than you would think. Your skin starts to seep. It starts to get soft. It starts to get I don't know how yeah, Cheryl, I know you just asked me to get into the process of it. I don't know how many people really want to hear the details of decomposure, but I can just tell you that from the time you start decomposing to the time that your body is completely bone, zero flesh, it takes a long time. No, don't apologize. It's a great question, and I have no problem talking about these things, but I don't know how many people want to hear about, bugs and pus and maggots and stuff like that. Sorry, guys. So I really don't want to get into it, but you can look it up, and it, if you look it up, it'll show you. I want to hear, because I don't know if I'll call you or talk to you later, Kim. They will give you graphs and timelines, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and stuff like that. So, yeah, it just takes a long time for the body, especially before breakfast. Sorry. It does take a long time for your body to become just bones and no skin. I do not want to hear about a round bunny either. Okay. See, I used to be a nurse. This talk is nothing to me. But my husband, I can't even talk about this stuff with my husband. If I actually break down, he's just like, look, stop. And so it's just not for everybody. Especially, I could be eating food and having a conversation with you about it, and it wouldn't even bother me. But God help me if Matt's chewing bubble gum or something. It just wouldn't happen. It wouldn't work for him. I did hear Olivia keeps getting suspended. She actually said she's going to start bringing her videos to YouTube, because everything that she's on also just keeps deleting her. I don't know why she keeps getting deleted and suspended. I'm not sure what the heck she does wrong, because I don't see anything wrong with her videos. But I'm a nurse also, and that makes sense. So Charlene, do you agree with me on the decomposure time and how the timeline doesn't make sense for for him to be just bones. Hey, Sam. I'm like, shoot the hog dry, patched up animal. So have I, Dev. No, police didn't take the items. It was the city. Yeah, you're right. Code enforcement. They called and had the code enforcement and city come out there. It depends on exposure to the elements. You're absolutely right. I'm good. How are you, Zam? And in the Florida heat, you know, a lot of things, you know, can rot and get speeded up differently. But it just takes it's a process. It's a detailed, long process. And then if you want to sit there and suggest that I'm wrong, okay, and I'm not always right. I have been proven to be wrong plenty of times, and I'll admit it if I am. But if his body had still been underwater for any amount of time, water slows down the process of decomposing. So the decomposure rate would have taken a lot longer had he been underwater. So that's another aspect that people don't really want to get into and talk about. And yeah, it actually helps preserve your body. But also, on that note, Cheryl, correct me if I'm wrong. If I die today in a lake, in a pool, in a puddle, it doesn't matter. If I die and I'm in water, okay, it's going to take about 2 weeks before the gases start releasing from my body and my body rises to the top and I'm floating. So that's another part that doesn't make sense, because why can't you find a floating body in a supposedly flooded area? Too many bodies do. Okay, you're right. You take that into consideration, but there's still a lot of different things. Water is very warm, so decomposure will be quick. It slows down. It preserves your body. You won't decompose as fast as you think. Not as fast as you would on dry land. Was in a tree and dying of heat for weeks. That could be true, Laura. Okay, so say he was like up in the tree hanging out and he died. Eventually he's going to fall to the ground. Eventually things are going to eat him, most likely boars. I can say gators, but gators aren't going to be out where he was because they really don't travel that far from water, and it was a ways from water. So I'm going to go ahead and just use boars as my example, because I don't believe gators were out there, but that's my opinion. More than one boar, you know, pulling at body parts and ripping and moving things around, and that could actually be why the body is scattered the way it is. And that, you know, is what I've been thinking this whole time, is that it had to do with boars. But that still doesn't explain why there was no evidence of clothing or shoes or anything like that. A boar is a pig, so it's a wild pig. What happens is, okay, say you have a farm and you have a crap ton of pigs. They get out, they eventually go feral, they turn into wild boars. They end up having babies and whatnot out there, and that's just the way it is. They just turn into wild feral pigs. Somebody asked if boars attack humans. So they will if they find a reason to, but I've literally walked up on a mom and her babies to take pictures of them, and they just run away. They really are not going to chase you and attack you unless they feel like they're in danger. So yeah, they could, but I mean, I don't know. I doubt that they saw him and was like, oh, let's go get this guy. He's meal for the day. I don't think that they just went after him and killed him like that. If anything, I think that they found him dead. heard they supposedly found clothes. I do not know if they found his clothes or not. I know that Jonathan found a pair of socks and some other things out there, but I'm not sure if they actually found clothing. I thought the police actually found clothing. Maybe in the book bag there might have been a couple of things, but you know, that still doesn't answer my questions as to where everything, as far as like what was on his body, was, you know, his shoes. Just where the heck are his shoes? Screw the clothes. Where's his shoes at? It does sound sketchy. Honestly, I'll use. So being a Florida girl, I have swam in the canals, and I'm still here. Not saying it was a smart decision. You know, we used to jump off the C-24 Canal Bridge and whatnot, and it's a huge canal runs through Florida, loaded with gators. A group of us used to. My friend used to ride his dirt bike off the canal bank from his house because he lived in the canal, and he'd fly into the water, and then we'd have to drag the bike out, and it was stupid. We were stupid, but we did. So gators tend to not necessarily just attack just to attack. I mean, they do, but they're not going to come after you so much like if you're on land. If you see a gator laying on a bank and you run after it, it's going to turn around and run away from you. I know this because I've done it hundreds of times, and I know people have done it. If you walk slowly up to it or past it, you might not even see it laying there, and you walk past it to go somewhere in a trail, you'll hear them run and a big splash. So, I mean, they're more scared of us than we are of them at this point. And I just don't think that gators really went after them. Not over there. Oh, Lord, I thought you were going to say your friend. Yeah, so that's another thing. I'm not sure how many people know about pigs, but it could be a farm pig or it could be wild boars or whatever. But if you throw a body into a pig pen, the bones are going to eat every last piece of that body. They are going to devour it, and there's going to be no proof of it. In fact, the mob uses pigs to cover up a lot of things like that for the simple reason that they're going to eat you bones and all. Please, okay, answer. If they close the case and he turns up alive, I don't know, Joyce. If he's declared dead and he turns up, I'm not sure. At that part of the law, I have no idea if they can turn around and say, hey, we have to reopen the case because he's not dead. So I don't know. I worry about, yeah, snakes could be an issue. He could have been bitten by a rattler, copperhead, something like that. But it still doesn't explain the timeline that they're trying to get us to believe and all the evidence that they're trying to show. No, Deanna, I have no idea why Olivia keeps getting banned. She just says that they ban her every couple of days. She has 2 TikTok pages, and she bounces back and forth between the 2 of them. Thought you were going to say your friend. No, we never rode gators. However, had someone given us that idea, I can't say that we wouldn't have tried it. Scott, absolutely. Anybody that ever shows up in Florida, just let us know. If you're in our area, we'll make it a point to try and get together. Maybe somebody. That's what she said. Wants to know if someone already asked this. Okay, but could the parents still be charged with something? I don't think they're going to charge the parents with anything, honestly. I really just don't see that happening at this point. I think they're free to do what they want, come and go, and I just don't think that they're going to be charged with anything. Why do you think there were still bones found, but not all? I have no idea where all the bones are or whatever happened to them. They already told the parents dental records matched. Yes, they did say that the dental records matched. But that still doesn't answer all the other questions that everybody has about it. Oh, thanks, Kim. I think there was a deal. Somebody else said that too, Melissa, that supposedly somebody came and said, hey, you know, it's been a long time, and if you don't help us, you know, we're going to charge you or whatever. Or maybe they went to the feds and said, hey, we'll help you if, you know, you can promise that we have no charges. Again, that's speculation. I do not know whether or not that's the truth. But that's, you know, definitely something that's circulating around the internet. People are asking that question, especially I've been asked that a bunch of times, and I honestly can't say yes or no. However, I can't say that it's something that could be unheard of, because I can see that happening. There are only a few teeth they can match. I don't know how many teeth were found. I was told it was a jawbone or top and bottom, and that they had enough teeth to be able to determine that it was him. Then other people said there were loose teeth in the jawbone. Other people said there was only a few teeth. So that also goes along with my my talk about decomposing. The teeth aren't all gonna get loose and fall out right away. That takes time for that to happen. That takes a lot of time. It doesn't just happen overnight. So I don't know. I do not know that answer either. Joyce, you can buy bones and parts to skull off the internet. Maybe Brian pulled a few teeth and glued them in. So I have mentioned that it could be, you know, they have bone farms where they test decomposure and stuff like that. And it was just, you know, it was just me saying, okay, here's a thought. I was throwing thoughts at people like these are the things that go through my head when I can't sleep. A lot of people pretty much freaking crucified me for that. But yeah, it could happen. And no one knows. The cadaver dogs should have been able to pick his scent up on dry ground or underwater. So maybe their sniffers weren't working well that day. I don't know. But there's that. They didn't find him. They didn't smell him out. So I don't know. I can't. I wish I was able to be there and watch step by step, but I can't give you that honest answer because I wasn't there, so I have no idea. Vanny, I agree. Anything is possible. Didn't pick up anything, let alone poop from a pig. Nope, the cadaver dogs did not find anything. You're right, Kim. Way too many unanswered questions. The cadaver dogs are broke. It was a joke, but roll your eyes at me if you want. It's okay. Everybody else does. $54 retiring. Got a lot. You're coming to Florida to find women. Well, I wish you luck with that. Another case I was working on was close because it went to state police. I think the fact it stayed with local is why they lost him. I agree. I agree. I mean, I knew before it was released that they had hidden cameras around that house, surveilling it. And I just, you know, whoever's in charge of surveillance that sat there and said, yeah, I thought it was Brian and it was really his mom, I really hope that they had some type of disciplinary action, because one, that's a crappy excuse, and two, how do you mistake his mother for him? It's did you go to the bathroom too long and you just didn't see him leave? I mean, just tell the truth. It doesn't have to be a big made up, drawn out lie or unbelievable excuse. Just tell the truth. I apologize. I had a bad stomach ache, and I was in the bathroom a little bit longer than I should have been, and I did not ask anybody to cover surveillance, or maybe there was nobody else to help him and he was just like, oh crap, I really gotta go. Anything can happen, anything's possible, but just don't make up, I thought Brian and Roberta were the same person, because no, I've never seen that woman in real life except for like pictures, and there's no way in this world that I would ever sit there and say, you know what, that's Brian. She just does not look like Brian. And for one, Brian is, you know, I don't know, what, I'm going to guess 5'7"-ish maybe. I'm really not sure how tall he is. Maybe 160 pounds, something like that. Oh, and let's not forget, he doesn't have boobs. So, I mean, that would, you know, the boobs alone would be something that would tell you that it's not him. She's short, frumpy, white. He's tall and lengthy. Yeah, he's that. They're just their body size doesn't have anything to do with the other. There's just nothing to resemble each other. Joyce, I saw that. I was talking to the news guy. He became good friends with us, and the news guy had followed them that day. They went, you know, they went to the post office. They went to 2 AT&T stores. They went to FedEx. And there was pictures of a MRE box. Could it be that they were using that box to ship something else in? Because, okay, let's just say that they knew where their kid was and they found him, and they assumed or knew he was dead. I mean, they must have known something if they were able to lead directly to where he is supposedly been found. So why would they mail out MRE kits anywhere if they knew that their kid was dead? So that makes sense. That it wouldn't be him if you think of it that way. But I think that they probably just reused that box to ship it out. What about the woman? Okay. I do not know. Everyone's talking about the woman in the black dress. I don't know. I was at the Myakkahatchee with Marissa, my husband, and Jonathan, and Andra. And we were, you know, walking around trying to see what we can find. And that happened. The only thing I can say is that, what's her name? Kat Alonso on TikTok is the person that recorded that video, who is also Roberta's neighbor. So if she says it's Roberta, I can only imagine that she would know what her neighbor looks like. She would know what Roberta looks like. So I don't really know, other than she says it's her. But like I said, who can you believe these days? You really can't. I don't think, it doesn't make sense to be walking around in all black and come out of your house and parade around the day before you even, you know for a fact that it's your kid that's dead. So I don't know. So Cheryl, apparently, what happened was, now I only know because of the TikTok video, she came out and saw Roberta and started recording after, but apparently she walked out her front door, walked around her driveway, turned around and came back. So supposedly it was her, and she just didn't start the video fast enough. So I don't know. Or she could have came around from the back gate like everybody, is seeing in the video. but I still just don't know whether or not it was her, and I wish I could tell you that answer. If I had been there, you would have seen it, you know, right along with me, and you would actually be able to say yes or no to that question. I couldn't honestly give you that answer. It looks like Roberta. Just like Clint Eastwood. She also had on a wig. Yeah, it looked like she had on a wig. And it did look like she was in mourning. Put the back, who dresses like that? Stop it. Yeah, no, I don't know. Some people do wear black dresses with a veil to funerals, like, so I can't discredit that. But I don't know why she did it when she didn't have confirmation it was her son. I also don't know why she opened up her blinds and, you know, was allowing everybody, you know, media to see her. So I think that was just for a show, to be honest with you. She was looking maybe for attention. I'm not sure. What's my personal feelings towards all this up till now? I have no stinking clue. That's my honest opinion. I have so many things going through my head that could be possibilities, endless ideas and answers, endless suggestions from my subs and from people that aren't even subs that just come by and they want to leave a nasty comment and say, well, why would this happen? Or people that come by and genuinely want to know that, you know, they aren't subs, whatever, who cares? It doesn't matter. But there have been endless people asking me different questions, and what do I think about this, and what do I think about that? Well, the only thing I could do is give you my honest opinion at that time to that question. But there's just too many things going around in my head and too many questions being asked that I can't give you an honest answer. And I would be just as bad as the media if I turned around and said, you know what, go Gators, this is this, and that's that, and that's, you know, it. Unless I know for a fact what the answer is, I'm never going to say this is a factual answer. I will always say it's my opinion, or I will always say I cannot confirm it. And that's one thing I think everybody that's ever watched me can honestly say, is that I will never tell you something's true if it's not, or if I don't know it is. Something was said that the brain wasn't, that I don't know. I also have been told that there were guns, hey Tara, that were owned by the family that were missing, and that turned up after the fact that Brian was missing. So I don't know whether or not any guns honestly were missing. I do know that I have been told that the family had owned weapons, handguns, and that supposedly they did not have them in their possession at the time of search. Yes, thank you, everybody. Let's see what the hell else. Do you think he's still alive? Seashell? Yes. I do. I honestly, no matter how crazy that makes me sound, and I know it probably makes me sound like a Fruit Loop, I honestly feel like he could very well have blocked. I honestly feel that, damn it, that he could be alive, and there's no proof otherwise, other than some dental remains. But I mean, I can't confirm or deny that the dental proof is true. So I don't know, until I have a real positive confirmation that that there is honest information, then I will believe it. But until then, I can't tell you what I think honestly, because it's just too much. I do think that he still could very well possibly be alive. There's too many other options, and reasons and places he could have gone and things he could have done. So unless he was just scared to go to prison, hey Anthony, then I can see that. I mean, he might have been afraid to go to prison and he committed suicide, but then please excuse that very rude plane. If he did decide to do suicide because he didn't want to go to prison, that still goes back to the decomposure rate and all that stuff. So I mean, there's just too many different facts that go into it that I just wish I could say, you know what, guys, here's this and here's that. I know, very rude plane. And I just wish I could say, you know what, this is the honest to God's truth, because everyone wants to know the truth and you're not going to really get it. And that's sad to say. Like, I'm really not going to get it. I've lost faith in the government. I've lost faith in the media. And I have no idea, like I said earlier, how much of what I've been told about prior cases and different situations that have been solved or not solved or whatever is even true. Because it turns around and makes me rethink everything I've learned and everything I've been told. And it's really hard. I don't know what to believe anymore, and it makes me feel like a Fruit Loop. DJ, you and me both, I'm happy that somebody's on my side. Let's see. Now, be real. Did you like Molly? I love Molly. Marissa and I have become friends since the first time that I met her. A lot of people don't like Molly, and they have their reasons to feel that way. I don't really know about her past, and I'm not going to go digging into her demons and her past. People change. People do things and they regret it. I mean, I'm not perfect. I don't want people digging up my past. I'm not ashamed of anything I've done in my past. So if you were like, oh, so I heard this about you, I'd be like, you know what, you're right, but this part of it's wrong. And, it is what it is. I have no problem telling the truth. But I'm not going to dig into somebody else's past and try to find out why people don't like her or why I shouldn't like her, because that's none of my business. The person I know now in real life as a person, like not through the internet, is the person I like. I was referring to how... Molly's loud. She's fun. She's gonna say what she wants to say, and she's gonna mean it, and she may not even mean to be screaming it as loud as she does. She might not mean for it to be that loud. It just comes off that way. I mean, you gotta love her, and it's either you love her or you hate her, and right now I just love her. She's done nothing but be good to me. She's done nothing but show me conviction and her emotions and how dedicated she is. And I don't think she was here for the wrong reasons, and a lot of people do. A lot of people, said a lot of negative things about her, and there's been a lot of people trying to cause issues between her and I lately. And it's uncalled for. You don't have to like her, but I can. These people that are trying to cause issues between us are just losing. So as far as I'm concerned, Molly is a good person and she means well, and a lot of people take her wrong because no, Gators, don't be sorry, it's okay. You asked a question and you're entitled to ask any question you want to. This is like a say what you want kind of place. I'm not going to judge you, but I'll answer you and I'll tell you if I think you're wrong. It is what it is. Molly is Molly, and I love her. So I really think she came out for the right reason, and I think that her voice needed to be heard. And some people thought she was way too loud, but you know what? I think she needed to be. I'm not going to say that every single thing that every person out there said, I agree with. But everybody's entitled to say their feelings and their thoughts, and I am never going to judge anybody for that. You can tell me what you think of me right now, and I respect your opinion. And you know what? I respect your honesty more than anything, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, that is what it is. She's searching. She came out twice, and it is disrespectful. She went live while you were live. So I don't think so. And Julie, here's why. And I'm not trying to disagree with you or sound rude, but I don't pay attention when I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna make a video right now, or I'm gonna go live, and I'll go live and post it, and I won't check. I won't check to see who's live. And maybe I should. Like, maybe that's rude of me because I have people watching me that could or should be watching her. I don't know. I have no idea what the YouTube etiquette world is all about. I'm just starting out. But when I go live, I don't check to see who else is live. That was what it used to be. Didn't you go live like this for subs? Did I go live like this for subs? No, I had absolutely no idea that I was going to end up getting as many subs that I did. I had zero intentions of actually becoming a monetized channel. I didn't know any of this was going to happen. I just wanted the truth to be seen or heard, and I had no idea who it was going to reach. So as far as the whole did I go live for subs, no. Because I honestly didn't think I was going to get any. But that's, I'm lucky, and I got blessed to get it. Oh, watch both. She is awesome, Scott. I agree with you. Thank you, Claire. I try to be as genuine as I can be. That's it, Seashell, and I've said that multiple times. People have said that to me on my lives. Like, they'll say something in my chat about me being out there for clout or whatever. But all I wanted to do was show the lives and, show what the media was doing. So, hey, C. Doug, I just wanted people to know the truth. And I spent an entire day out there listening and paying attention and watching the media, and I was sick to my stomach, and I had a talk with my husband that night. We had a fire in the backyard, and I said I want to do something. I want to make a difference. I want to help. I discussed how everything was going that day, and I said I just don't know. I do animal rescue. So I had, I don't know, like 10, 20 videos about animals, and I only had 92 subscribers, okay? So I said, I don't know how I'm going to make a difference with 92 subs, and nobody knows about me really, but I feel like I need to show the truth, because it's just, you're not getting it, and that's why I went out there. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Claire. And that's honestly what I did and why I went out there. Present yourself with good manners. And thank you, Nancy. I do unfortunately have a potty mouth from time to time. I'm trying really hard to work on it. Penelope, CJD, she's such a brat. She's a great little prairie dog, but I'll tell you what, she chases your feet. And so when you let her out and she's running around the house, you have to wear shoes, because if you don't, she'll chase your feet and bite your toes, and she bites really hard. So Penelope is a sassy little snot, but she's really cute. She's getting big too. I should do a video about her soon, just so you guys can check her out. But she only likes my son. She doesn't like anybody else. She tolerates me. She doesn't like my husband. She loves my son. So at least she likes somebody. I mean, whatever. Toes are the worst. She does love head rubs. I have a rabbit. Hold on. That is doing something she shouldn't be. Uh-huh. What are you doing? I caught you. This is what happens when you rescue animals and they decide they're going to be bad. It was a rabbit, yes. I had 5. I got 1 get adopted, and now I have 4, and they all run rampant around my front porch and inside my house. They actually will scratch on my door when they want to come in. That's how spoiled they are. They're very smart, so I feel bad because it was you, Snickers. I feel bad because I know when they go to their forever home, they're not going to be, they're not going to have what I've done for them. I'm not saying their adopter is going to be a bad person because I do very, very in-depth checks. I have a dog too, but like these rabbits run around for 13 hours a day. Who's really going to let a rabbit run around for 13 hours a day? I'm blessed that I don't have to work, so I stay home and I take care of the animals and do what I have to do. But yeah, it's easy for me to let the rabbits have all this free time. However, I know in real life situations it's not going to happen for them, so I just hope that they adapt easily. Thank you, New Zealand Mysteries. I appreciate it. Your daughter loves rabbits. Go Gators. Are you anywhere in my area? Because I have 4 that are up for adoption. I'll put a bow tie on it and everything. A little bow, make it pretty. They're females and they're fixed, so just putting it out there. I know, Dev, Rascally Rabbits, you want Alice. If I could ship her to you, I promise I would. I have a rescue Chewini. Oh, Chewinis are so cute. Prairie dog training part 2. She bit me so damn hard it went through my nail and my finger, and I was bleeding. It took probably 20 minutes to stop bleeding. A real prairie dog. Yes, a real prairie dog. So somebody bought her from a pet store and decided that they didn't have the time and patience. I'm gonna beat your little rabbit butt. Decided they didn't have the time and patience for it because they take a lot of time, like 3 hours or more. They need bonding and stuff, and they just left her, and somebody told me about her, and I went and I picked her up. The one that was being bad, that was chewing, was a lion head rabbit, and then the other 3 are Rexes. Gators are good for you. Oh, I love gator tail. I have 2 cats, a dog, a tegu, a prairie dog, and a fish that are my pets that I rescued and decided to keep. And then I have 4 rabbits and a hedgehog that are up for adoption. No, they're Rexes and one's a lion head. Dwarfs and floppy ears are really good. Have a nice weekend. Hate to go. Bye, Julie. I hope you have a great weekend. I do have a tegu. He's brood mating right now. He's a red and white Argentine tegu. He's about, I don't want to lie, but I'd say between 3.5 to 4 foot long. And he's awesome. He's super sweet. I started harness training him so I could walk him around on a leash. Have you ever heard a rabbit bark? Have you ever heard a rabbit scream? It's like bloody murder. I love you, Seashell. Thank you. My grandson has he takes bubble baths. Yes. You put him in the sink with, warm water and like some Dawn dish detergent, and they float. They turn around on their backs and they float. And you see the little feet and their faces up in the air. They're super cute. Yeah, I know you can't have them in PA. I used to live there. I actually had a hedgehog when I lived in Pennsylvania, and I had a sugar glider, both of which were illegal to have there, but I had them anyway. I grew up in the country in PA. Never had a rabbit. I lived up in the hills. I was about a half hour south of Canada, and I wanted to have a little farm, but it never actually happened. So, I know, yes, Debbie, they scream. Oh my, it's horrible. And they just, my one is like, she likes to scream. She just starts singing opera to me. Ah, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, it scares me because then you come running out and you're searching around. Who's doing what? Are you guys fighting? Like, what happened? And you'll just sit her, she'll sit there and just be all propped up and screaming. And it's just like, lady, you need to stop. Rabbits, my rabbits are spoiled. They are definitely hard to tame as far as you're so young, you never know. I'm 40. I'm getting old. I bought a house. We're looking for property out where we could actually have a farm, but I have so much going on and I can't dedicate myself to all of this stuff. So I'm gonna put the farm life out for a while. I don't register any exotics. Like my Tegu's not registered. And it wasn't, you didn't have to do it for a long time until they tried banning them. And now they're saying they're legal, but they want you to register them. And I'm just not going to do it because at any time they can sit there and say, oh, this house has, you know, a red and white, so we're going to go retrieve it. And I'm not going to have, like, no one's coming in here. You're not taking my kids and you're not taking my animals. Where in Florida am I? I'm by Fort Myers. You can contact me on Twitter or Instagram or email me. It's onecrittercorner1@gmail.com. You and I can't wait to go house hunting with you. It's so awesome. I'm excited. Northport is like 2.5 hours from Disney. Yeah, it is. I thought it was 3, but you're probably right. It's more along the lines of like 2.5 hours to get from my house to there. I have to go, doll. Bye, Dev. Valley Forge. Okay. So, I'm going to exit from Disney. Horrible traffic. I would never want to live there. I'm 40. Well, in November, I'll be 40. Yeah, I believe that I'll be 40 before I believe Brian's dead. Bye, Deb. So, Bonita Springs is not far from me. However, I'll text you later, Deb. I've never been there. I've never been to Naples. You don't have a single wrinkle. I don't think 40 is when you start getting wrinkles, is it? I don't know. But I have to dye my hair. In fact, my husband told me that, he's like, you're on YouTube now. You have to dye your hair and you have to start wearing makeup and you start, make sure that you look, TV worthy. And I'm just like, really? Like, I have to start doing that stuff? Like, why can't I just look like me? So, he told me I have to be presentable. Which I guess it's true. Thank you, K Camp. Nobody wants to sit there and see somebody that looks like, the wicked old witch talking about whatever. Just saying Hollywood. Oh my gosh, I know. I'm starting to get I'm starting to get nervous about YouTube, to be honest with you. My husband is definitely something. He keeps me on my toes. Wrinkles will be approaching. Me too, Seashell. Let's get wrinkles together. When you're a man and you turn 40, women don't want you. That's not true. I stopped wearing my glasses and my grades are showing. I wear contacts from time to time. Not as often as I should. Because, that little dent you get right there from your eyeglasses, I feel like it looks like craters in my face. So I don't really like to take off my glasses. And then when I do take them off, like if I do my hair and my makeup because I'm going somewhere and, I gotta put my fancy pants on. sometimes I'll take off my glasses if I don't have contacts, and I'm walking around like this. Like, where the hell is everybody? Hey, Trina. Oh my gosh, my contacts, my eyes dry out so fast that my contacts honestly do dry out, and when I blink, I can feel them stick and move, and it's just horrible. I really don't like contacts. Thank you, Sam. I mean, that's one thing, like, if you ever noticed, my hair's always like this, or I'll put it up and, like, braid it, so it's like a braided ponytail. I really don't, I'm in a t-shirt, tank tops. I have no reason to really try and dress up. My mom's like, you should dress nice and look appealing and do all this stuff, so when your husband comes home to work, from work, you're in a dress and you have makeup on, and I'm like, am I a freaking Stepford wife? Like, am I supposed to, be June Cleaver with freaking high heels on and a dress, cleaning and doing crap all day long in my house? Like, am I really supposed to have that appearance? Because as far as I'm concerned, like, it's not happening. My mom's like, oh, shame on you. Shame on me? He knew what I looked like before he married me. He's known me for 28 years. Like, if he didn't like the way I looked before we got married, he had that option to run for the hills. Just hit the road, Jack. My husband loves me. He does. He's such a good guy. He puts up with so much. I said in a previous live that, like, I was, hey, Ashley, I was thinking a lot about this case, and he has to work. Now, he has to work long hours, too, and I would just, hey, babe, what? So I've been thinking, and I would just run these ideas, and do I sound crazy? No. Yes. No. Yes. Like, at least he humors me and gives me his honest opinion, and he lets me actually sit there and wake him up, and he doesn't get mad at me. So he's really good. He tolerates me so well. I'm really appreciating him more than you even have any idea. It's great. But to be honest, like, he wakes me up too sometimes. He'll wake me up and ask me if I could get him a glass of water. Really? You were awake first. You telling me you couldn't go and get a darn bottle of water? Okay, I'll be right back. He is a keeper. I miss you guys going live every day. My husband's been telling me to go live and do videos, and I've been saying I'm going to, but then I sit there and I rethink it, and I doubt myself, if that makes any sense. Or I've watched Marissa's videos, or I've seen some other people post things. Like, some people sent me pictures of those letters that were found on September 18th that were supposed to be Brian's. And I read them, I ran my thoughts by him, and then I saw like 4 or 5 other YouTubers had already covered it, and I'm just like, now I just look like I'm trying to copy everybody, like I have to have my own original ideas. And so a lot of that has prevented me from coming on, and I really do want to, but I just want to sit there and have valid points, and I want to sit there and be able to tell you something that somebody else isn't telling you, or 20 other people aren't telling you. CJD, I wouldn't be nervous, and well, that's a lie. I didn't start getting nervous till I realized I had over 4,000 subs and I started getting members. That's when I got nervous, because now it's like I'm obligated to you guys. Like, I have a responsibility to come on and talk to you guys and keep you happy, because now I have people that have joined a membership and they're paying to see me, and I'm just like, I don't know what they want me to say, and I don't know what to expect, and I just feel like I owe you guys the world, and I don't know how to give it to you. So I'm still working on that, but that's why I started getting nervous. But I really think that if you started a channel and you enjoy doing it, it's so worth doing. Just know you are going to get people that are not the nicest people in the world that will comment and say things to you. I've learned that day one. But have fun with it, block the haters, and keep moving. And that's really all that you can sit there and do, and that's all I'm trying to do. Now I'm just trying to think of ideas and stuff to make sure that I can keep everybody happy and not make you feel like, damn, I never should have subbed to her, or damn, why did I waste my money joining her membership? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I owe you guys so much more than I know how to give you. I sure don't know. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. Humble and honest. Oh, I'm telling you, like, I don't know how to lie. I have the worst tells. Like, hey, Brian, if, like, people are always like, what would you do? Okay, what would you do if this was your son and he did a horrible thing? Would you call the cops? What would you do? Well, first, I would get him a lawyer if I had, been told the truth or whatever. I have no idea what would be told, but here's the first thing I know. If I were Roberta and Chris, and my son showed up at my house in a van that belonged to his fiance, and she wasn't with him, and he said, just say, for instance, okay? Now, I'm making this up. It's not the truth, but for instance, just imagine this. If he says, we broke up, she hitched a ride back with somebody else, or she got a plane back, and, we need some space and time apart. I would 100% reach out to her family and say, listen, this is the situation, and her van is at my house. I don't know if you have family or anybody that's close enough that can come get it, but I'm letting you know. Like, that would be me, honestly. You reach out to the family. You don't let that slide. So that would be my first instinct to do that. But I would be the worst person to like, don't tell me you killed somebody, because I promise I would try my hardest to maybe not say yes, they did it, but I am the worst liar in the world. I would be like, I'd be pooping my pants as they talk to me and ask me questions. They would just know for a fact by my body, language and just my demeanor that I was full of crap. So I definitely would I would have to do, get a lawyer and do whatever, but I would definitely have answered the family and said, you know what, I have her van at my house. I don't know what happened, but this is the story I was told. That's the least that they could have done, and that's before they knew anything was wrong. So anything they did from that point after, is their business. But they definitely should have said, something happened, and Gabby's van is at my house. Yeah, I have 2 boys, so thank God they're good. Maximum sense. My kids, like, my oldest goes to work and then they come home. The only thing they do is play on their Xbox or their computer or whatever. I mean, like, they seriously don't do anything wrong. They do good in school, whatever. So I'm really blessed to have kids that are actually well behaved that I don't have to worry about. But other than that, I mean, I just, who knows what the future holds. I think my little one's going to end up being the troublemaker. This woman. They shared the van. I was told that it was registered to Gabby, but they both paid for it. So, I mean, yeah, they both paid for it, so they're sharing it, but I mean, still legally, it's not his to take. And just because you break up doesn't mean you leave her across the country, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, if I were going to break up with you, I'm not going to do it in Wyoming or Utah or someplace across the country. I'm going to wait till we get back home to break up with you. I'm making sure I get back home. You're not leaving me anywhere. I don't care how mad you are. I'm going home, and then I'm breaking up with you. That's just me. So I don't know that she broke up with him or what happened, but that's just me, giving an idea out there. You're right. Why didn't she come get her things? I have no idea. That would have been another big clue that something was wrong. Then they said that the parents had contacted them to try to collect Gabby's things, and that the family refused to return it to them. That's kind of crappy. I mean, why wouldn't you return her belongings to her family? You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense to me at all. If I would give your family back your daughter's stuff. It's, the only thing that I can do is to just say, hey, here's the stuff. It didn't have to be speak to my lawyer or, ignore 50 phone calls. They could have went about this in a very civil, polite, respectable manner. And so I definitely think that they handled themselves wrong. Also, I think that they took advice from a lawyer that's not legally able to practice here. I realize it's a long-time friend that lives in New York, and he can give advice to them, but legally he can't represent them. So I feel like they should have went about it differently. They should have got an actual Florida lawyer that can practice here, that could actually, give them the ins and outs of the laws and the things that have to be done here in Florida. So that's just my thoughts. But like I said, what are they worth? It's just my thoughts. My thoughts are Gabby said she wanted to go home, upset him. He didn't want her family to hear how he treated her, pulling her over, and they argued over it. That could be too. Apparently there's a lot of people that witnessed them arguing and fighting. They could have done things so much better without getting their son in trouble. Absolutely, Kim. Absolutely, they could have. Did you see News Nation Gabby special? I honestly don't watch the news anymore. I saw how News Nation twisted something up, and I had that on a live, so I saw the truth, and then I saw what interview they were doing, and my husband and I watched that interview or the news report that News Nation put out that night, and my husband sent Brian Enton, a strongly worded email, and Brian came back and said, listen, I apologize. I only hand over the information to the news station, and I can't tell them what to do with it once they get it. So, he apologized for that, and it is what it is. I mean, I get that. I understand that you have no control what happens with your footage once you turn it over. So, I mean, it makes me think a little bit better of Brian, but I still don't know if I put much faith in what any news station is going to put out there. I've seen Brian Enton report that Moab police, they should have done that traffic stop differently. I'm sure that they have a lot of regrets about how they handled that. I can't imagine being the cops that were there and then let them go and then find out that the person ended up dead. That would kill me. So I don't know. I can't imagine being them, but I feel like they thought they were doing the best thing in that situation. However, I don't know what they thought or what they were thinking or why they made that decision. I just know that that they must feel horrible. I feel bad for the cops. Yeah, I feel bad for them too. I also don't believe that. I think that's a lot of people are sitting there trying to connect Gabby and the other couple because of the Mary Piglet. They met there, and apparently, I don't know, someone said that one of the ladies said that they can see that he was a nasty person and was trying to tell Gabby to get away from him. And I don't know if that's true or not. That's what somebody told me. But, I don't know. I know that they were at the same places at the same time, and it's very coincidental, but I'm not sure if I believe he had anything to do with all 3 deaths. I only know that I believe that he had something to do with Gabby. You contacted Gabby. You, CJD, you contacted Gabby? Oh, contacted 5 days. Okay, before she was found. Gotcha. Yeah, he's in Teton right now trying to see if he can put the pieces together for this case that happened over there and bring it all here and put it together. I have a fun question. What was the best thing you got delivered? So 3 times people actually sent stuff well, to me. While I was there, they sent it out to me. But it was pizza, it was subs, and then J4J sent drinks and Slurpees out to us. So the food was great. I loved the subs. The subs are really good, but it was so daggone hot that day that the Slurpee showed up that I can honestly say it was so refreshing to have ice cold drinks in my mouth. So that I gotta honestly say the drinks definitely stood out the most because I was so stinking hot. The subs, yeah, the subs were awesome though. The pizza was good too. Everything was good. And I appreciated every single thing that anybody sent out there. Brian's Insta is mysteriously deleted. Hey, babe. How are ya? I thought you were working out. Put the phone down and start lifting up weights. No mustard, onions, mayo, or snakes for Marissa. Anyway, so I'm gonna let y'all go. Wait, there's a man missing in Grand Teton Band reported last night. We were just found out yesterday. Actually, Matt told me that they're in Pasco County in a construction site. They found bones. So I think that we're gonna look into that and see if we can find some information about that. As you know, I can cover things from other states, but I mean, honestly, how much can I really find out if I can't be there in person? So I think it's best for me to stick to local because I need to be able to really get the facts. I'm gonna need you to watch. Your cat's face. Oh my gosh, my cats are like internet famous. They are all over. That's why they're in the house right now. They're not with me because they would just be like in front of the camera. But yeah, they're all over the internet. Yeah, I think he went back to lifting weights. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. His IG is back up. Oh, it's a spoof. I never really looked into any of his social media or his email stuff. A lot of people have mentioned it and brought it down, brought it up to me and like sent me things. Tell them only if, okay, we have like 6 extra bracelets left that we can send out. Brian, did you get your bracelet? So, good idea, Dan. Yeah, it's easier, Kim, to do things here in the area that we can travel to because then we can actually get a feel for what's going on and be able to, really get into it. I can only tell you what I hear about things that happen out of state. I don't have any way to actually prove whether or not it's, true or false or whatever. It would basically be me reporting to you on things I've heard from other people on YouTube. So I think I'm just going to stick to here for a while. You're waiting on. Okay, so I sent them out Monday. 2 people, I mentioned this in the beginning. 2 people had told me that they got the envelope, but there was a hole in it, and the bracelet fell out. So I sent them pictures of the bracelet, and they have to file a claim with their police department, their post office. I hope that they're able to recover it. It really stinks that they lost them. So when you get them, let me know. If you show up without, if the envelope shows up without a bracelet, I apologize. I did send it. I don't know how or why it happened. It just unfortunately did happen. Snail mail is slow. I sent them out Monday, so it stinks that it's taking so long. But anyway, it's almost 2 hours of me yapping. So yeah, let me know. Email me, Instagram, Twitter, or next time I'm here, tell me what's going on with it. And I hope that everybody gets one. Email me, hey Stephanie, 1 Critter Corner 1, and I will mail you out. I only have 6 left. So first 6 emails I get are the ones that are gonna go out. You're a great thumbs up. Thanks, Kim. Come up to VA. You know what? Maybe we will. One of these days, over the summer, we can take a trip. So if we plan to come to VA, I'll let you know. Or if you come out here, let me know. We'll definitely figure out a way to meet up. All right, guys. Everybody, wait. Claire, medium psychic tarot, and the angel therapy. I do not have any idea who that is. I'll call you later. Okay, I'll talk to you later, Cecil. All right. Yep, at gmail.com. All right. Talk to y'all later. Love ya. Bye.